Good morning everybody. Saturday morning. I've been up with the lark. Had my shower about 4:30, had my breakfast about 5:30, did my housework, apart from the hoovering, got the laundry done. So, quite pleased with myself. Can't wait to go and see Alfie today. I went on Wednesday. I didn't go yesterday. I wasn't feeling up to it yesterday. Wait a minute. Yeah. Where are we? Yeah, Wednesday and Thursday, but I didn't go yesterday. I just didn't feel up to it. And I think the litigation and the court has knocked the stuffing out of me a little bit. I'm glad that I've done it. I'm glad that it's the major part is over with and we've come out of it looking very well. The case needed to be heard. It deserved to be heard, and I deserve a win. So, but we'll have to see. I wanted to touch on something this morning that's quite serious. As most of you know, Alfie's got advanced Parkinson's disease plus the Lewy body dementia, which people don't always get the two. Alfie does have the two. We've always said that if Alf's body had gone, like some people's, and he'd been of sound mind but trapped, unable to speak or move, he would have been deeply traumatised. So, in a way, how it's happened is a kinder way for him and for us, because we know that in his own little world, you know, at times he can be very happy, other times very agitated, and not so great. He has to have now, he has to be hoisted from the bed, and he has to be hoisted into the chair that is then taken into the lounge. He hates it. He hates that hoist. Obviously, he doesn't know what's happening, but we've found that if we give him one of his reborn dolls to hold, that sort of gives him something to focus on and hold on to, make sure the baby doesn't fall on the floor. So that helps. Those dolls do help. I'm in a couple of groups in regards to Parkinson's, and you know, people ask questions and your experiences of different things, and one of the questions that did come up was, does anybody find these dolls helpful? They're very, very helpful, or at least we have found them to be with Alfie. He's got 3 of them now, 3, 4, and I'm going to get him another one, I think. I'll have a look, see what they've got. But one of the groups I'm in, there's a lady who is quite traumatised about what's going on with her mother. And I can only say, when Alf was in hospital 4 years ago, they didn't hold out much hope that he would survive. They tried to pressurise me into signing a do not resuscitate form, which I wouldn't. 3 times I had the doctor come to me the third time. He came with his boss. Unfortunately, my daughter was there at that time. She came into the room with me, and it was just disgraceful. The way they were saying that if I didn't sign the form and there was a possibility that Alfie did need to be resuscitated, and they went into gory details of what that could entail. I don't need to know the details. I know my husband. I know what he would have wanted me to say, and I said it. Not everybody has the same opinion. And I'm going to read you a little bit here of the dilemma that this lady finds herself in. She says, "My mother has vascular dementia and Parkinson's disease. In the last year, she has declined rapidly. Mini strokes, UTIs, etc. Each hospital trip takes a little more out of her. She is very weak. She cannot walk without assistance. She sleeps about 15 to 18 hours a day. She's incontinent. In April or early May of this year, she was put on hospice, and they've been wonderful. They have an advanced directive, DNR, do not resuscitate, that she signed years ago. I am her power of attorney. Her wishes were to stay in her own home if she could. So I made that possible for her. This past Monday she fell. It wasn't a very hard fall, but apparently she has fractured something because she can't be moved without excruciating pain. After talking with her primary care doctor, the hospice nurse and two elderly mental health team members, I did not send her to hospital because it would be very painful and traumatic for her, and no matter what, the hospital would send her back home, probably without operating. She is home with medication to keep her comfortable, but she cannot eat and she cannot drink. So she will pass away very soon. This has upset the grandchildren, who think she should be in hospital receiving artificial food and hydration. They believe I am making the wrong choice for her, and I'm starving her to death. My mother's medical directive is very clear. She does not want this if she will not get better. Not to mention that she also told me what her wishes were numerous times over the years. The grandchildren reported me today to the Division of Ageing, and I'm now being investigated for elderly neglect and endangerment of my precious mother. I am beside myself with grief, and I know that they are too, but I am basically being called a murderer. I think what's clear there is this lady's mother put in writing a clear directive of do not resuscitate. It's her mother's wishes. it was a directive that was signed when her mother was of sound mind. It's very hard because obviously we want our loved ones here with us for as long as possible. Selfishly, I don't want Alfie to go before I do. And I know that's selfish. And I know it's cowardly. But it's how I feel. I think because on the other hand, my children will have their lives to lead. They all have responsible jobs, working long hours, children. And so they can't visit their dad as I do every day, most of the time. They go once a week, sometimes twice a week, if possible. But they don't go as I do. They don't do what I do, such as washing Alfie's feet and massaging his legs and his hands and his face, using my own therapies and essential oils to help calm and soothe Alf. My children go and visit, sit with him, hold his hand, give him a drink, give him some ice cream, mousse. Sometimes my son takes the Westie in therapy dog so the dog can go in and visit also. And I often wonder what Alfie thinks that's about our dog, our own dog Amber, who passed away 4 years ago. And Alfie still calls for her and sees her walking across the room. And I often wonder if she was still here, because she was a therapy dog also. And I could take her in to see Alf, what sort of response or reaction that would get. It would certainly get something. But as I say, I want Alfie here with me as long as possible. I don't want him fading away. I don't want him leaving me. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. It probably isn't good enough. And I wish I could do more. But I feel for the lady who is in this position now of having the heartache of losing gradually her mother, who will pass in the next week or two without liquids, without food, and having the additional sorrow and strain of being alienated from her family, because yes, they are basically calling her a murderer, and that she most definitely is not. She's caring the best she can for her mother, and she's doing the best she can to ensure that her mother's wishes are carried through. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll be back over the weekend. I've got to go and get some thank you cards from my barrister and lawyers and one or two bits and pieces, but I think my son's coming to lunch, late lunch,